Zoe is being a judgmental friend again. Aaron just may have a baby, and Luca lives in a storage closet but still was able to pull Ryan Destiny. This is the Grownish Season 3 Episode 2 review. Stay tuned, you're watching Talking TV with Lex. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Alexis here and you're watching Talking TV with Lex. Today we're talking Season 3 Episode 2 of Grownish, titled Damn. And Damn is a fitting title for it because I found myself saying that through in the entire episode. But before we get into it, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Turn on those notifications so you can know when I drop anything that drops. And make sure you like and comment as you're watching. Let's get into it. Okay, so when we left off on episode 1, we found out that Nomi is pregnant. And I knew that this whole episode was going to be just everybody kind of reacting and dealing with that new thing. Honestly, I felt bad for Nomi throughout this episode because everybody was acting so weird with her. But then again, I kind of understand why it's like that. You know, when you come back, none of your friends knew you were pregnant. Now all of a sudden you show up pregnant. People are going to not know what to say. People are going to act weird. People are going to want to have a lot of questions. So I thought it was, even though it felt awkward seeing Nomi in that situation, I know she felt weird, I kind of understood why people were acting like that. So Nomi got pregnant basically through a one-night stand. I'm not gonna lie, when I saw the first episode and I saw how big she was, I was like, they better not come back and act like she just got pregnant over summer break, because there's no way skinny mini Nomi would be that big over like a 3-month break. So I thought it was realistic that they had her have a one-night stand the same night she had that breakup. So it was good that we got those answers. We still don't know who the baby's father is. We know it's somebody named Phil, so I don't know if they're planning to have her do it all alone, or if there's going to be an episode where she tells Phil about the baby, or if Phil's even a college student there, if Phil's some guy she just picked up on the street. All we know right now is that she's 5 months pregnant and that it's with somebody named Phil. So I guess maybe later on we'll get more information about the actual father, but for now at least we know she's 5 months pregnant and the guy's name is Phil. So one question that I didn't really know if they were going to talk about it in the episode, I felt like it might have been touchy, but they did end up doing it, which I thought was realistic, was Zoe asking her basically, why didn't you get an abortion? And I thought they were going to make it like this super awkward discussion, because sometimes with Grownish and in Blackish, topics like that can turn into like a whole monologue or a whole deep conversation. But to kind of make it realistic, it was just kind of like, because I didn't want to get one. And even in saying it, she wasn't like, I'm not pro-life, like I'm still pro-choice, but the best choice for me was to keep the baby. So I thought that they handled it in a way that was still realistic, in a way that was still classy, but not kind of bashing either side. It was just the choice that she decided to make for herself. So I thought that Grownish handled that in a superb way. So good job, Freeform. Anna is being super weird, but like I said, realistic. And it's Anna. She acts weird sometimes. She's making like a whole, Zoe called it a prenatal spread, which I thought was super funny. But I thought that was nice that, you know, she was taking that much time to, you know, support her friend by giving her the right foods. But what I did not know is that apparently there's a Cuban legend that if you eat plantains, it can make your penis bigger. Now, she said it's a Cuban legend. I don't know if they made that up for the show. I'm going to Google it to see if it's a true thing. But is that really something you're thinking about when somebody is pregnant? Like, should you be worried about if a baby's Peter is going to be big? Like, I was just like, why, you know? But it's Anna, she does weird things. I really do want to look that up though. Like, I've been finding out a lot of weird information about penises recently. Like, I found out earlier today that apparently you have taste buds on your guys have taste buds on their testicles, and like if they stick their testicle in a certain flavor, they can taste it in their mouth. Don't judge me, Google it and then come back to this video. Apparently it's a real thing. Some people have been doing videos on YouTube about it. So I just keep finding out all these penis facts. Like, who knew there were so many things and legends and facts around penises? Like, it's actually pretty interesting. So Zoey finds out from Luca that he already knew Nomi was pregnant. She told him a long time ago. It's not new news. He already knew, basically. And Zoey, being Zoey, she's super dramatic, takes everything personally, was like, you know, how could you tell my ex and not tell me? I'm going to take this personal. Now, what I didn't get from it is why Zoey felt like because she told Luca that automatically meant that she didn't want to tell Zoey and that she had to have some personal reason for why she wouldn't tell Zoey. Like, it had to have been something Zoey done, or they were saying later on in the episode that it was because Zoey was judgy. But I don't understand why she took it personally just for her, because Nomi told Luca yes, but she didn't tell anybody else in the group. She didn't tell Anna. She didn't tell the twins. She only told Luca. So it's like, why do you feel like it's only about you if she didn't tell anyone? The only person she told was Luca. So is it just Zoey being Zoey was feeling everything is about her? Like, I just thought it was weird that she felt like it had to have been something about her personally, but Nomi didn't tell anybody in the group. Like, Anna didn't get offended, the twins didn't get offended, nobody else got offended that they didn't tell her. But for some reason, Zoey felt like it had to have been something about her. She was right, which came out in the episode, but I just feel like if she didn't tell anybody in the group, then it doesn't mean that it's something personally about you because she didn't tell anyone. Like, am I the only one who feels that way? Let me know in the comments, because the whole time I was like, you're being really dramatic, taking it personally when you're not the only person she didn't tell. But that's Zoey. We know she's dramatic. So Zoey being Zoey was like, I'm gonna ask her about it, and so she did. And Nomi was basically like, I told Luca because he's super chill and I knew he wasn't gonna have an opinion about it. And it turned into a whole conversation about Zoey being judgy. Now, mind you, I agree that Zoey can be judgy sometimes, but at the same time, I don't think that anybody, aside from Luca, because he doesn't have an opinion about anything, would have a friend tell them that they're pregnant and they not have any type of opinion or anything to say. You're going to want to ask questions. You're going to want to give input. Like, why is it such a big deal if she wants to say something? Now, I think it all comes down to how you say it and the way that you say it, especially with a pregnant woman because they're sensitive. But to think that nobody would have an opinion or to not say anything when you tell them you're pregnant, especially in her situation specifically, I don't think is realistic. And I don't think it's fair to really come at Zoey for being that type of person when I think anyone would have something to say. Now, Zoey doesn't handle things in the right way. I think we can all agree on that. But to say I told Luca because he's not going to have an opinion, who wants friends that aren't going to have opinions about things? Like, sometimes you need opinions, sometimes you need voices of reasoning. So I kind of felt for Zoey in that way because, one, it's all about how you say it. Don't be a judgy person, but at the same time, your friends should be able to tell you how they feel. They should be able to be honest with you, and they should be able to give their input on things without being made out to be judgy. And maybe I'm that friend in the group who always wants to, say their piece and kind of give their input on things. And like I said, I feel like you just have to know how to say it in the right way. But regardless, to think that somebody would never give an opinion about something, I don't think it's fair. And this is one of the few times I actually kind of was more on Zoey's side than I was on anybody else's side. You definitely want your friends to be supportive. Like in the episode, all the friends made it clear that they were being supportive. Like Anna with her prenatal spread. And then later on in the episode, the twins got Nomi some clothes from their cousin, some hand-me-down baby clothes. So that's being supportive. I do agree that Zoey could have been more supportive. But I mean, like I said, who wants friends who aren't gonna be honest with them, Now, while I felt for Zoey and how Nomi approached her and how everybody kind of jumped at her being judgy, I do think she kind of validated what they're saying by kind of spazzing out on her in the bar. She yelled at her and was like, this is not normal, and yada, yada, yada. And then I was like, okay, Zoey, you're doing too much right now. Like, don't scream at her. I think one of the twins was even like, there's nothing weirder you know what's weirder than a pregnant woman being in a bar is you yelling at a pregnant woman in a bar. So I think she definitely handled it wrong. But I mean, they were all kind of coming at her. Like, everybody just kind of jumped on her, was like, yeah, you're being super judgy. And I would have turned around like, why are y'all being so snappy at me? Because she didn't tell none of y'all either. Why don't you break down and tell every single one of them why you didn't tell them that you were pregnant? Why is everybody only coming down on me? So I guess I'm Team Zoe in this episode. I guess, you know, she should have handled some things differently, but I totally, you know, felt for her on everybody just kind of coming at her for no reason, I feel like. So, I don't know. Like I said, let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think that people were being too hard on Zoe? Do you think that they were well in her rights? Do you think that she proved that, you know, that's the reason why somebody wouldn't tell her things? Let me know in the comments what you think, because right now I'm kind of Team Zoe, but I know after talking to other people who've watched the episode, they may make me see it in a different way. So let me know in the comments what you think. At the end of the episode, Zoe and Nomi talk it out, and Zoe's like, look, I get that sometimes I don't say things in the right way. I love this season 3 Zoe already, because she's finally admitting when she's doing stuff wrong, and it really feels genuinely in this season, even though they said she was going to be better last season, like this season, like she's really trying to fix the things that she does. She was like, you know, I said things the wrong way, but at the same time, you know, I'm just trying to be a good friend in regards to being honest with you and feeling like I can share my feelings about things, which I think is valid, which I've already said in this video. But she admitted that she didn't do it in the right way and that she wasn't being supportive. And because she was able to admit that, and I think it made Nomi's walls come down, and she really vented to Zoe. She was like, I feel really scared, and I feel like I really made a mistake. And I loved that, because it shows both sides of it. You know, getting pregnant at 20 in college when you don't really have parents who are supporting it has to be the scariest thing on earth. So I'm glad that they showed that side of it, and that we got to see, you know, Nomi be vulnerable, because we don't really see that side of Nomi. So to have her say, look, I feel like I may have made a mistake. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And to share that with Zoe, for them to have that moment, I thought was beautiful. I loved it. And I just hope that they continue to show both sides of the spectrum as we go on this journey with Nomi in the season. It's definitely gonna change the friend dynamic. Things are gonna be a lot different. You know, we're used to sexually free, smoking weed all the time Nomi, who's always down to turn up and speak her mind, but I think we're gonna definitely see a new side of it, and I'm excited to see how that new side is gonna be. So kudos to the writers this episode. I thought this was a really good episode. We got to see different perspectives and so many different things, and it was an episode that wasn't about dating or who I'm gonna date today or any of that. It was focused around something that happens in college. People get pregnant. So kudos to the writers of this episode and to Freeform. I really, really loved it, and I really, really loved that moment with Nomi and Zoe. In all of this Nomi drama, Aaron is like, yo, like, I could really have a baby out there somewhere. Like, I just been out there scheming everybody, and I really could be a dad. And honestly, I was so disappointed. And look, I know y'all are probably like, Alexis, you just said in your last review that you wanted Aaron to be a hoe. I do want Aaron to be a hoe. I want Aaron to enjoy his senior year and be out, you know, being with a bunch of girls. That's totally fine. But I want Aaron to do it safely. Like, why is nobody out here using protection? Like, Nomi got pregnant off a one-night stand. Now Aaron thinks he may have all these babies running around. Is nobody in college using condoms? Like, what kind of, what, like, why is nobody using protection? So I was like, dang, Aaron, like, you're this activist and you're going around speaking and you're an RA and you're giving people advice, and you out here just raw dogging everybody on campus. Like, how are you that worried that you may have a baby out there somewhere? Like, I just couldn't believe that he would really be that irresponsible. And I love that they had Doug, and he was like, I won't have nothing to worry about because I strap up. Thank you, Doug, for being the only person on this show using a condom, obviously. Shout out to you. So Aaron's like, I may have a baby somewhere. He finds a girl that he used to hook up with who actually has a baby who's the age of, I guess, around the time they were messing around. And he's like, oh my gosh, that may be my son. And I just thought it was the funniest thing ever. They ended up finding the son at a park. And they're like, nah, that's not your son. That can't be your baby. And then the baby turns around and he has a rat tail. Now, I don't really see a lot of people with rat tails. So, I guess. But, like, just because a baby has a rat tail does not mean that that's your child. Like, it's not like he came out born with a rat tail. It's not like Aaron came out born with a rat tail. You grow that out. It's just up to his parents to grow it out that way. But they saw there and they were like, oh, that's gotta be your baby. That's gotta be your son. And I was like, okay, these people are absolutely insane. But it was so funny. Like, I was watching it like, oh my gosh, they are crazy. But in like a funny way. Like, I thought it was super funny. And I thought it was super funny at the end. He was like, oh, I see you playing with cars. Like, I used to play with cars as a kid too. And then the baby didn't say anything. And he was like, I didn't really talk much as a kid either. Like, stuff that really has nothing to do with genetics and absolutely do not mean that that can be his son. But he was like, this gotta be my baby. That's gotta be Aaron Jr. And I was like, this fool is ridiculous. I was laughing so hard. And so Aaron's like, here, take this lollipop. And I'm thinking, okay, this is so not okay. This is not the culture to just be out giving kids lollipops. And I was like, okay, he's about to get caught up. Somebody's about to come punch this man in the face. And the real dad came up. The real dad, please stand up, show yourself, was like, what are you giving to my son? And Aaron walked off really sad. And it's like, why were you worried? You were worried that you were going to have a baby and hoping that that wasn't the case, but then you were sad that it wasn't your baby. And I was just like, this fool. He is so funny, and I thought that was a funny moment. But please, y'all, please, use some condoms. We don't need no baby scares. And most importantly, because a lot of people have birth control, I get that. But you can catch diseases. Like, I would much rather have a baby than a disease that I have to live with. Like, no, like, get some condoms, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't get nothing else from this video, get that. Y'all need to be using some condoms. Sex Ed 101, Dr. Lexi in the house. Boop. So we didn't really get too much from Luca aside from the fact that he already knew Nomi was pregnant. He was the first person to find out. But we discovered in this season that, I don't know if it's a garage, but it looked like a storage unit. So this man is living in a storage unit. Now, mind you, it was really nice in there. It even had upstairs and downstairs. It was like a loft. But at the end of the day, it was a storage unit. Why is this man living in a storage unit? I know living in LA is expensive, but this is not You. If you haven't seen You, go watch it on Netflix. This is not You. Like, what? Why are you in a storage unit? But somehow, in some way, in living in this storage unit, he was able to pull beautiful Ryan Destiny. I said in the last video that I was ready for Ryan to make her Grownish debut, and she finally made it looking beautiful as ever. But I was so mad that her debut was in Luca's bed, y'all. Like, no! Like, I don't want her with Luca. Point blank, period. And I don't even know her story yet. We didn't even have her name. They said, when they said that she was going to be on the show, that she was going to be an HBCU transfer. I don't know anything about her character yet, but I just know that I don't want her with Luca, because Luca is terrible and she could just do so much better. So I'm happy that she's there, but I cannot believe that her storyline is that she's going to be dating Luca. I mean, I guess that's good, because that means that this really could be the end of Zoey and Luca. Or maybe that's going to be the whole drama with Ryan, is that she's messing with Zoey's man. But regardless, that's not what I want, okay? I wanted Ryan to come in, this bomb HBCU transfer, coming in, handling her business. She gets the good grades. She's super duper cool. She dresses cool. She's handling her business. And the first thing they got her doing is making out with Luca. Here we go. Here goes another relationship drama scenario. Am I excited to see what's going to happen? Yes. Am I here for it? I don't think so. I'm not. But we haven't got too much from her yet, so it could be different. But I was like, no, Ryan, no, not look good, no. But we'll see what happens. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps up this episode. They announced this week that Grownish was renewed for season 4. Yay! For Zoey and the group, I guess that means that we're going to get a season of their senior year, which makes me wonder if that means that season 4 automatically is the last season, because after that they graduate, unless they're going to have them, you know, going to grad school or being super seniors. I don't know, but regardless, I'm so happy that the show is being renewed. That means a lot more Grownish reviews from me. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Make sure you comment and let me know if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, what you thought of the episode. Make sure you like this video, and if you don't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn those notifications on so you know when I drop the next video. And yeah, just continue to tune in and rock with me on this YouTube ride. So until we meet again, thanks for tuning in. You have watched Talking TV with Lex. See you guys in the next video.